Hello there. In just a moment, you'll see the PropTales editor for yourself. And you'll notice right away how intuitive it feels. Every listing becomes a beautiful story, and you stay in full control. Change a headline, swap a photo, adjust the layout. It all happens in seconds, exactly the way you want it. So let's take a look at how easy it really is. This is where you turn an ordinary listing into a cinematic, scrollable property story. For this walkthrough, we are using a fictional luxury home, Skyline Terrace in Los Angeles. On the left, you build the story. On the right, you see a live preview that updates as you work. Let us start at the top and walk through every control. In the first row, on the far left, is the PropTales editor, your home base. Next to it is the story selector, the drop-down that currently reads Skyline Terrace, Los Angeles. Your account can hold many listings, and this is how you switch between the stories you have created. New story starts a fresh, blank story. Import URL pulls in a listing from a supported link, so the fields fill themselves. Duplicate makes a copy of the current story, which is handy as a starting template. And delete removes the current story, though it moves to a recoverable trash, so nothing is lost by accident. The second row begins with the autosave time. Your work is saved automatically, and the moment of the last save is shown here. The private and public toggle controls who can see the story. Private keeps it hidden behind your link, public makes it visible and shareable, and right now public is selected. Open launches the live story in a new tab, exactly as a buyer would see it. Save and preview saves your changes and refreshes the preview on the right. Upgrade is where you unlock the paid features when you are ready. Profile holds your account and contact details. Dashboard gives you an overview of your stories and how they are doing. And Sign Out logs you out. The third row groups the smart tools under the label AI. Generate Storybook lets the AI arrange your uploaded photos into finished, cinematic pages automatically. AI Copy writes the headline and the chapter text for you. Content Pack generates ready-to-use marketing material, like descriptions, captions, emails, and a flyer. Reel, in beta, builds a short, branded vertical video of the listing. Then, under Share and Export, Share/QR gives you a shareable link and a QR code. Download site as a zip exports the whole story as files you can host on your own website. And Stats shows how the story is performing, such as how many people have viewed it. Below the toolbar are the 5 building blocks of every story, and we will open each of them in detail in the chapters that follow. Property holds the address and the hard numbers of the home. Facts is the at-a-glance data sheet. Story is your written narrative, the headline, the description, and the highlights. Branding and agent is where your identity and your call to action live. And pages is the visual heart of it all, the sequence of chapters made of photos and clips. Let us begin. This is the property panel, and it is where every story begins. Start by filling in the given fields with the basics of the home. Across the top you enter the address, the street, any apartment or unit, the city, the zip code, and the state. Then come the core numbers that every buyer looks for first: the beds, the baths, the square footage, the lot size, and the year the home was built. Below those you add the price, the property type, and the MLS number. These are the hard facts that anchor the whole story, so take a moment to get them right. Underneath the basics is a section called Cover Chips. Chips are the small rounded boxes that sit on the very first page of your story, the cover, which you can see taking shape in the preview on the right. This is where you decide exactly what a buyer sees in the first 2 seconds. By default, PropTales fills the chips with the highlights, the price, the beds and baths, the square footage, the lot size, the year built, and the property type. But you are in full control. Remove any chip you do not want with the small X beside it, or add your own with Add Chip. Think of the cover chips as the core messages of the home, the headline elements you want front and center on the cover, before the buyer scrolls a single inch. This is the facts panel. Think of it as the at-a-glance data sheet of your story, the place where the key numbers of the home live. Each fact is a simple pair, a label on the left and its value on the right. In our Skyline Terrace example, we have entered 3 facts to show you how it works: the year built, the property type, and the price. You can edit any of these, change the label, change the value, or remove a row you do not need. On the right, you can see exactly where these facts land in the finished story. They appear together on the facts page, presented as a clean, right-aligned list of the numbers that matter, so a buyer can scan them in a second. And you are never limited to 3. To add more, simply type a new label and its value into the empty row, or press Add Fact, and the list keeps growing down the page. You can come back and add facts at any time, as many as the home deserves. Everything you enter here shows up on that facts page automatically, beautifully formatted, with no extra work. This is the story panel, where your words bring the home to life. It has a few simple parts. The headline is the big title that opens your story on the cover. In our example, it reads Skyline Terrace Retreat, Modern Elegance Above Los Angeles. The description is the narrative paragraph that sets the scene and the mood, the invitation that draws a buyer in. The highlights, sometimes called the executive summary, is your short list of the standout features, things like the generous living space, the infinity pool, the chef's kitchen, and the smart home system. And the neighborhood field simply names the area, here Brentwood Hills. On the right, you can see where all of this appears. Everything you write here flows onto the facts page, right beside the numbers. Your description shows up under the heading about this property. Your highlights become the bulleted list under highlights. And the neighborhood name anchors the section about the surrounding area. You write your story once, here in one place, and PropTales places every piece of it exactly where it belongs throughout the finished storybook. This is the branding and agent panel, and it does 2 important jobs. The first is your identity. Choose your brand color and your headline font so the story matches your look, then enter your details, your name, your brokerage, your email, your phone number, a link to your website, and a scheduling link, along with your profile ID. All of this powers your call to action, and you can see where it lands on the right, on the final page of the story. That closing page asks a buyer, "Could this be home?" shows your name and brand, and invites them to book a showing or leave their details through a lead form. So the parameters you set here become the way buyers reach you at the very end of the tour. Below your details are 3 switches that control how the story behaves out in the world. The first, index this listing on Google, publishes the story so it can be found in search, and you should only turn it on when you own the rights to the photos. The second, allow embedding on your own website, lets you drop the story straight into your own site. And the third, Ken Burns Motion, adds that slow, cinematic zoom that drifts across each photo. Leave it off for a cleaner, always smooth look, and either way the gentle movement between images stays in place. These toggles put you in full control of how far your story travels. This is the Pages panel, the visual heart of your story. Each row you see here is one page in the finished storybook, and they play in order, from the top of the list down. Every story begins with the cover, the opening page, followed by your chapters. In our Skyline Terrace example, those chapters are entrance, outdoor and pool, dining and chill, bedrooms and bathrooms. Each row tells you how much media it holds, for example 3 photos and 1 clip, so you always know how full a page is at a glance. You are in complete control of the flow. Grab a row by the handle on the left and drag it to reorder your chapters. Click Edit to open a page and build it out, which we will do in a moment. Remove a page you do not want with the small X. And create a brand new chapter with Add Page. Any photos you have uploaded but not yet placed will wait for you under Unsorted Media, ready to be assigned to a page. Finally, at the very bottom is an optional 3D tour and video section that applies to the whole listing. Paste a Matterport tour or a video tour link there, and each one adds its own page near the end of the story. This panel is where the sections that make up your storybook are arranged and shaped. Next, let us open a single page and see how a chapter is actually built. Here we have opened a single chapter, the outdoor and pool section of Skyline Terrace, so you can see exactly how a page is built. At the very top is the layout. This is where you have full flexibility. Choose from a whole range of arrangements for how the photos sit on the page, from a single hero image that fills the frame to 2, 3, or 4 tiles laid out in different grids. Just click the layout you like and the preview on the right updates instantly, so you can try a few and keep the one that flatters these photos best. Below the layout, under Media, are the tiles that make up this page. And here is the key detail: click any tile to edit that individual image. When you do, that photo opens with its own set of controls. You can write a caption just for it, like an infinity pool meets open air living at golden hour. You can press motion to fine-tune how that image moves. You can turn it into an AI clip. You can nudge it earlier or later with the arrows, or remove it with delete. Underneath, Choose from Your Media lets you click any photo in your library to add it to or remove it from this page, and you can always bring in more with Add Photos or a lifestyle clip. And at the bottom, the page text is the short, evocative paragraph that appears beside the images. Layout, media, and words, all together, so every chapter can look and feel exactly the way you want. This lower area of the Pages panel is where you bring in everything else your story needs. With Add Photos or Video, you upload your own images and clips straight from your computer. With Add Page, you create another chapter whenever the home calls for one. And the 3D tour and video fields let you paste a Matterport tour, either by its full URL or just its ID, along with a video tour link. Each of these becomes its own page near the end of the story, so a buyer can step inside and take the full walkthrough. But the feature to really notice is lifestyle clips. Pick a category and PropTales opens a library of short, cinematic clips you can drop straight into any page, with no filming required on your part. In this example, the kitchen category is open, offering 8 clips, warm little scenes of cooking, plating, and fresh ingredients. These clips are included with PropTales and they are BARY branded, so you can enrich any chapter with beautiful, ready-made motion that sets exactly the right mood. Click a clip to add it, and click close when you are done. It is one of the easiest ways to make even a simple listing feel warm, alive, and truly premium. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to turn your property listings into beautiful cinematic stories, head over to www.proptales.us and create your first one completely free. Try it out, share your experiences with your clients or fellow agents, and let us know what you think.